Okay, so you've ruled up your page. Make sure you put the date up the top here, on the top, and on the left-hand margin, we're going to do exercise 2.1, and we're going to look at number 1. So, arrange the following lists into ascending order from the smallest to the largest by converting fraction values to decimals. So, let's have a look. You've got the numbers, so you write down the question first. 2/5, 0.399, 4/5, 0.382, and 3/4. Now, it's very hard to tell whether fractions are bigger than other fractions or decimals. So what you do is to work out these ones, first thing you do is you convert these fractions into decimals by using a calculator. So if we just grab a calculator, 2 divided by 5 is the first fraction. 2 divided by 5 equals 0.4. So we just rewrite that as 0.4. This one's already in a decimal. Now, 4 divided by 5, if you do that on a calculator, is 0.8. So you can use a calculator to work that out if you want. 3/4, if you do that on a calculator, 3 divided by 4 is 0.75. Now that you've written them all as decimals, let's write that one a bit better, 0.399. Now that you've written them all as decimals, it's easy to rearrange them from the smallest to the largest. Ascending order from smallest to largest. So the smallest number is this one, 0.382. The next number, 0.399. The next number, 0.4. Now let's write it back as a fraction because it was given to us as a fraction, 2/5. The next number, 0.4, is 0.75, and that was given to us as a fraction, 3/4, so let's write 3/4. And finally, 0.8 is the next number, which is 4/5. So there we go. There's the answer. We've written them from smallest to largest. Let's have a... Now, actually, by the way, let's just label that. That was part A. Let's have a look then at part D. Do another one. So you've got the fractions 2/3, 1/3, 0.3, 3 on 8, and 0.2. By the way, you should have your book open to page 61, so you should be looking at this as I do it. Whenever I do a podcast, make sure you've got the book open to the exercise. All right, so we get a calculator and we convert these. Now, 2/3 is 0.66 rounded off 7. 1/3 is 0.333. I just know these from my head, but if you go 1 divided by 3 on a calculator, you get 0.333. Just 3 decimal points is enough. The calculator tends to go on forever. Now, 3 on 8, not sure what that is, so let's just get a calculator and do that. 3 divided by 8. 0.375. 0.375. And the last number is 0.2. Now, let's get those from smallest to biggest. Smallest is 0.2. So write them in order from the smallest, 0.2. The next one is 0.3. The next number is 0.333, which is a third. So we write a third. The next number is 0.375, which was 3 on 8. And the next number was 0.667, which is 2/3. So there we go. What I want you to do is do number 1. Now number 2. Let's have a look at number 2. Let's do 2A. What you've got to do is write these decimal numbers as fractions in the simplest form. Now, just one thing about decimals. The place values, that's tenths, and then you've got hundredths, and thousandths. So, if you've got 0.8, that 8 there means 8/10. So you just write it as 8 over 10. Now, you should simplify that to the fraction with the smallest denominator on the bottom. What number will divide into 8 and also into 10? Well, 2 will go into 8 4 times, and 2 will go into 10 5. So the answer is 4 on 5. If we have a look, let's do J. 0.684. So 684 behind the decimal point is 684 thousandths. Okay, so these are the tens, these are the hundreds, these are the thousands. So that would be 684 over 1,000. Now you've got to simplify that to the simplest form. So what will divide into 684 and 1,000? Well, this is pretty tricky. What I tend to do is simply divide numbers by 2. So divide the top number by 2, you get 342 over 500. Keep dividing by 2 until it won't go any further. So it's 171 over 250. What number will go into 171? Can't think of any actually. I think that's basically it. So I think the answer is 171 over 250. You might be able to simplify that further. We'll have to check the answers. Okay, let's do another one. Let's see, G. So we want to change 0.31 into a fraction. So that's 31 over 100. Okay, and I don't think that'll simplify anymore. Nothing will divide into 31 and also into 100. Okay, I want you to have a go at number 2 now, please. All right, now number 3. I'll do 3A and you can have a look at the other ones here. So let's have a look at 3A. A length of wood it's 2.6 metres long, so you've got a bit of wood and it's 2.6 metres long. You don't have to draw a diagram, but I like to here. How many pieces, each 40 centimetres long, will be able to fit into it? So how many pieces can you chop out of it where each piece is 40 centimetres? So let's change it to metres. 40 centimetres is 0.4 of a metre. So we want to find out how many bits of wood, 0.4 of a metre long, will go into or you can get out of a 2.6 metre length. Well, let's have a look. You want to find out how many lots of these go into that 2.6 metre length. So it's a division sum. It's going to be 2.6 divided by 0.4, and that'll tell you how many 0.4 metre lengths will go into the 2.6 metre length. Now you can use a calculator for this. So let's grab our calculator. 2.6 divided by 0.4 equals 6.5. So there's going to be 6 pieces, so that's going to be 6.5. So the question says, how many pieces will you get? Well, you'll get 6 pieces. And how much will be left over, the question says. How much will be left over? Well, there's going to be a half a length. So there's going to be 6 pieces with half a length left over. Now, half a length is a half of 0.4, okay, which is going to be 20 centimetres. 0.2 of a metre. So there's going to be 6 pieces of wood with 20 centimetres left over. Okay? All right, I want you to have a go at the rest of number 3 there. That would be good. Okay, in question 1, we saw how to change a fraction into a decimal. All you do is you divide it. So if you've got 7 on 10, and you want to change it to a decimal, you just go 7 divided by 10. What about if you had, like in part A, 51 and 7/10? Well, all you do is you can work out the decimal part by simply getting your calculator and going 7 divided by 10, and you just put the 51 in front of it. So it's going to be 51 point something, because you've got 51, we're going to convert it into a decimal number, so it's going to be 51 point something. Now 7 divided by 10 on a calculator is 0.7, so that fraction is 51.7. Let's do one that's a bit harder. Let's have a look at like G. If you've got 14 and 13 over 80 as a mixed fraction, okay, it's going to be 14 point something. And to work out what the point is, all you do is you get your calculator and go 13 divided by 80. So you go 13 divided by 80 equals 0.1625. So 0.1625. All right, I want you to have a go at number 4, please. Now, number 5, let's quickly have a look at that. Number 5, write the following decimals as mixed numbers in the simplest form. So I think they mean fractions there. So if you've got, say you've got E and you've got 13.02 and you want to write it as a mixed number, I think they mean a mixed fraction there. So it's going to be 13 and, now that's 2, that's the tens place there, this is the hundredths place, so it's going to be 13 and 2 over 100. Okay, so let's simplify that, that'll be 13 and 1 over 50. Okay, let's have a look at another one. Look at H, 124.706 as a mixed fraction. It's going to be 124, and you get your calculator, it's 700, no, yes, you don't need to get your calculator. It's going to be 124 and 706, hang on, muck that up, 706 over 1,000. And let's simplify, that'll be 124. I like to divide 2 into things all the time, so that'll be 353 over 500. What will go into those numbers, I'm not sure. If there's any other numbers, I think that's basically as low as you can get it. So there you go. I want you to have a go at number 5, please. All right, in actual fact, you should be able to do number 6 as well, so I want you to have a go now at number 6. Now, look at number 7. It's an interesting one. There's a number line. It's got 0 up here. It's got a 1 there. And it's got a 2 up here. Now, if you count the number of little dashes between the 0 and the 1, you'll see there's, on page 62 I'm looking at in my textbook, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So each of these little dashes along here is 0.1. Okay, so each of these little dashes are going up in 0.1s. So what you've got to do for number 7, if now I won't go show you all of these. For 7a, you've got to put these numbers 0.5, 1.3, 1.5, and 1/5 on here. So 0.5, you just go along 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 0.5 would be here. So just put a dot there and label it 0.5. 1.3 will be 1, and then you count 1.1, 1.2, 1.3 will be there. So put a dot on the number line. Now, you actually have to sketch the number line. So you're going to have to copy the number line in your book. And 1.5 is 1.5. So you go up to 1.5 on the number line, label it 1.5, put a little dot. And then 1/5, if you get your calculator and convert it to a decimal, it's probably easiest to convert these to a decimal. 1/5, 1 divided by 5, equals 0.2. So on your number line, you're going to get, there's 0.1, 0.2 is here, so put a dot and label it. Actually, let's label it 1/5 instead of 0.2. Let's label that 1/5. And coming to think about it, see this where we've got 1.5 over here? We probably should label that 1.5, because in the question it actually said show where 1.5 is on the number line. So probably don't show the 1.5, just show 1.5. Okay, I want you to do the rest of number 7 and number 8. Okay, now in actual fact, yes, you should be able to do 7 and 8. You have to copy those number lines and put the spots on them. Now, number 9. Let's have a look at number 9. All you have to do with these, let's see, I'll pick, for number 9, I'll pick B. You've got 2.29 and the number 2 and 12 over 39. And you've got to work out which one's bigger. And the way you do that is you rewrite the numbers as decimals. Okay? So we've 2.2 and 12 over 39, convert that to a decimal, will be 2. Now get your calculator and go 12 divided by 39 to convert that into a decimal. So 12 divided by 39 equals 0.307. So 307. So this number here is 2.307. We can see that 2.3 is bigger than 2.29, so we have our symbol going that way. So this is less than that. Let's have a look at another one. Say you had I with number 9. You've got 2/3 and the number 0.67. We've got to convert 2/3 into a decimal. So if we just simply go 2 divided by 3 equals, that's 0. Now let's have a look, 6666666. So this number here is 0.66666, and you've got 0.67. Which one's bigger? 0.67 is bigger than 0.66, so you have the little arrow pointing towards the smallest number. This arrow here always points to the smallest number. Okay, I want you to have a go at number 9, please. Number 10. What it says, express each first quantity as a fraction of the second quantity and express it as a fraction in the simplest terms. So say I'll do number 4. The first quantity is 20.6 kilograms. The second quantity is 12.5. So express each first quantity as a fraction of the second. So the second quantity that you're given in this question goes, my pen stopped working. Why is that? Why has my pen stopped working? Let's go draw. Hang on. Draw. Do this again. So, it's not working. Let's look at number 10. Express each first quantity as a fraction of the second quantity. Write the fraction in the simplest terms. The first quantity is 20.6 for part 4. So write it as a fraction of the second quantity, so out of 12.6. I would say there's our fraction. Now what I'd do, I'd actually get the calculator out and do that. 20.6 divided by 12.6 equals 1.63, so I'll leave this over here. It's 1.635. I'll round that off to 5. 1.635. 1.635. So that will equal 1.635. Now that's actually 1 and 635 over 1,000. And then that would be 5 goes into 635, I think, yes. That will be 1, and 5 will go into that 1, 2, 525 times out of 200. And then you can probably even cancel that even more. That'll be 1, and 5 will go into 125, 25 times. 5 will go into 240 times. And 5 will go into 25 5 times. 5 will go in, well, that's a hard question. Whew. Maybe for number 10, just do part 1, part 2 and part 3, okay? And then you can have a go at the rest of the exercise.